Hello and welcome. Today is Sunday, the 12th day of February 2017. Welcome to the video, which will be a gold chart video. It will be one priced in euros, spanning back the monthly chart to 2004. But before we do that, these are some investments that would be very common, or at least the banking ones are the most common. And I've seen a commercial before in Canada where they state an investor comes into the bank concerned about extra fees, and the banker says it's wait till the end. It's a long-term game, and the person's not happy. It's not a game. This is my family's future we're talking about, which is the reality for so many of the people that are invested in the world, the majority of everyone. And a lot of those are in the banking instruments. The reward for what you will get is simple. You're going to get the returns you expect, the gains. When you retire, you're going to get what you thought you would get. Your stocks will go up a good amount. You will have your bonds pay you as you expect them to. You will get paid when you expect it. But then the risks are things like stocks going down, risk of bond collapses, risk of maybe a fiat currency just exploding so bad. There's so many ways it can happen, and we can see this in other countries. It's not like I'm just saying this is going to happen and it's never happened anywhere else before. We can look at India, Cyprus, so many different measures that even your financial holding cash has got a risk to it. And of course, inflation is another big risk if you're just holding that. But precious metals, risk reward. The reward is simple as you are looking to get gains in true value, let alone normal value. Protect your wealth, all those sort of measures. Because I think there's lots of upward room where the reward in gold and silver can be that maybe years from now your buying power for what's in your safe, although not changed, might be 3, 4, 5 times more because of the market movements. But the risk, you watch videos on the internet about the dollar collapsing in 2009. So you start buying, and you start buying at 14, 16, and 18, and then all the way up to 50, back down to 30. And maybe some people, they're all in. They can't afford to buy more or much more. Next thing you know, they have bad things happen to them. They got to sell. They bought at a dollar cost average of 26, and they're unloading at prices at 17 and 18. That's a huge risk, and that, of course, is in play. Cryptocurrency, that's just obvious. When you go from the oblivious nothing to almost the price of gold, and who knows where it can go from there. Yeah, it's massive, and the risk, she's all on the line. And real estate, I mean, real estates go down, buyers don't find as many, might get a short end of the bargain. Like precious metals, you're holding a real asset. Miscellaneous buy and sell, that goes down to deflation. If you buy items that lose pure value, then it's not good. Even if you buy something during hyperinflationary period to resell, something like product A, you bought for 1,000 a unit, but you can only sell it for say 3,000 during hyperinflation, when gold prices have went up say 6 times and silver prices have went up 30 times and something like that. So can you find anything that has absolutely no risk that's going to give you the return you need? Yeah, right. Good luck on that, baby. Okay, so let's go to the gold chart priced in euros. Going back to 2004. And within this, it's two patterns. It's went up and it's went sideways. Maybe up, down, sideways. No, or up, down, and up is another one. This is up, down, and up. But this up move has been not that volatile of one. It's been grinding its way higher, which means the chances of breaking a resistance level of low volatility is the easiest. Also, when I look at this, I got Fibonacci retracement from this high and this low, which found perfect resistance amongst the 61.8% level, where it found support within the band, previous resistance becoming support. To reverse the trend, you need to establish resistance, which of course it did, and it corrected, and then the break of resistance. Is it a clear break? I would say yes, barely. If you bought, you could say you're in a losing position, and have you stopped yourself out if you're playing that kind of game? That's your next question, because along the way, all of these lows are higher, and it's still showing what could have that bullish breakout. A little bit of concerned if this thing falls to the lower area, because you make this high like you did here, and all you've gone to is up here. But a movement above here is an extremely strong one, because it's breaking above 61.8%, indicating that this move is showing failure, and thus the resumption of what the previous trend is what you would see. And again, you can see the rate of ascent there versus there, that this one was much higher, that it's like a correctionary phase with the upward bias, because it's barely going higher. Barely going lower would be a negative bias within its example. As far as Fibonacci upside would be concerned, and that's calculating this high within this low, I get a level in at 1864. And it looks like it would be an area where you would find some sort of level of resistance, maybe come back partial way, full way. And if it's not, well, we'll talk about that later, because that is a long ways away from happening. This is most likely all going to be driven within fundamentals, because these markets in every currency has been manipulated, because once you manipulate the gold markets, once you manipulate the currency markets, they work together. So it does seem as if things are changing within the way our markets and world is working, that any type of movements within the next year or two that would bring news that devalues the currency doesn't surprise me. I had no idea myself until about a month or so ago that Donald Trump was actually a gold bug, that he's got like lots of gold. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I do see there's a good chance, because of all the things that he's doing, and it seems as if he's got a lot of honesty towards him, that it's going to come into play, and there's going to be a lot of news within the media about poor cash. And when the time comes when they say fiat currency on the mainstream media, they talk about how debt has been guaranteed to do all this and that. What do you think this gold and silver stuff is going to do? And that's how I'm going to conclude this video. And have yourself a great end of the weekend and a start of a new week following. Take care.